What an amazing week 3 this past Sunday. Sorry, my microphone was over there. I realized I need that to talk. So we appreciate you guys joining us for this episode of Time2Football. My name is Hassan Khan, the host of this show. There's a lot to unpack here for week 3 and exactly what happened this past Sunday. I mean, we saw NFL history just being made with Justin Tucker making a 66-yard field goal that bounced off the upright or the crossbar at the bottom, and then it went in. And I think that's something that we're going to be talking about for the rest of our lives. This record, in my opinion, will never be broken unless there's someone out there that's the next Sebastian Janikowski, which, I mean, more than likely, it's hard to find someone like that. But this past Sunday, we saw NFL history being made. We saw another 109-yard kickoff, punt return, whatever you want to call it, missed field goal return for a touchdown by Jamal Agnew, one of the most underrated kick returners in the NFL. A lot to unpack here on this episode of Time to Football, which we're going to be talking about week 3 takeaways that happened this past Sunday, as well as previewing the Monday Night Football game that's happening between the Eagles and the Cowboys. We appreciate you guys joining us, and you guys are joining us in the chat as well, so we continue to encourage you guys to leave your comments throughout the duration of the show. We're going to be talking to you guys with any comments that you guys leave in the chat. Miguel, listen, Miguel, you come in clutch all the time. You always tune in on these live shows. Good morning. How are you doing? Do you have a job? Why are you tuning in this early? But hey, we are very appreciative of you guys joining in this early, whether you guys are working right now or if you guys live on the West Coast or getting ready for work. Good morning to everyone. Glad you guys are waking up with Time to Football. We want to unpack this show or start the show with some NFL news and notes that's been going around the league. And I think Mondays is the biggest thing. It's always injury news is the biggest headline of NFL news and notes whenever we talk about any news that happens on Monday. Blake Martinez, the linebacker of the New York Giants, very underrated linebacker, actually was the NFL tackle leader in tackles for the last couple of, 2-3 years ago when he was on the Packers. He was first, second, top 3 pretty much for like a string of 2 or 3 years. Very underrated player. He tore his ACL, unfortunately, for the New York Giants, and he's going to be missing some time and, duration of the season. He's going to be out for the year, so that's a big blow to the New York Giants defense. Miguel, you said, yes, I have a job, but it is flexible. I like to hear that. I really do like to hear that. A.J. Brown left the game against the Indianapolis Colts with a hamstring injury that's been lingering for the longest time. And it finally caught up to him, left the game, and he did not return. So that is bad news for A.J. Brown. He's probably, if I had to guess it, more than likely Mike Vrabel is going to rest him this upcoming week. That's what I would do if I were the head coach. And then after that, his future is kind of cloudy. After that, Juju Smith-Schuster had a ribs injury. He missed the remainder of that game, did not return. So the Steelers' offense already out of sync. The chemistry is gone. Juju just got hurt in this game. The game before that, Deontay Johnson did not practice all week. And Chase Claypool had to pick up the slack with 9 receptions, 95 yards. So it looks like it's going to be Claypool. And he was even banged up a little bit in that game. Took a few rough shots. I think he's going to be okay. But it's looking like that the Steelers' offense is just going to get worse and worse and worse. Najee Harris had to take on the load with this 14-reception game, which is ridiculous. But, yeah, the Steelers' wide receiver core is hurt. James White, a receiving running back, he is now there's questions regarding his hip. He hurt his hip in that game. He was carted off. So he is now in jeopardy of losing playing time this season. I don't know if he's going to be returning or not. We're just going to have to wait and see. What else do we got? Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, both New York Giants wide receivers, were ruled out pretty early on in the remainder of the game against the Atlanta Falcons with hamstring injuries to both of them. So you got A.J. Brown, Sterling Shepard, and Darius Slayton, 3 wide receivers that suffered a hamstring injury this past week. KJ Hamler, another wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, suffered a knee injury. He did not return. Tyler Kroft, tight end, 1 for the New York Jets, did not return as well. He suffered a chest injury. Elijah Moore was under concussion protocol or will be under concussion protocol this week. He suffered a concussion. He will not be returning. But that is your NFL news and notes for this week, for today at least. You guys are continuing to comment. We got Deej tuning in. Higgins out long? Question mark. Well, he was doubtful going into the game. So whenever you're doubtful the week after, there's a chance that you'll play. You won't play that week because you're doubtful to play. But the week after, more than likely. However, it is a Thursday night game coming up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Short break, short week. I doubt that T. Higgins were to get back into the lineup. So it's going to be Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase leading the charge for them. Sarkatis, Kareem Hunt got great play. Not so great for Nick Chubb. Yeah, Nick Chubb, I mean, the rushing numbers, you'd look at it, 84 yards. Yeah, that's perfect. But then Kareem Hunt overshadowed all of that with the amount of targets and receptions that he had in the receiving game, as well as on the ground. He made the big play. So, yeah, 1-2 punch for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, most of the time it is Nick Chubb, but, and this week, like I've been saying this previous week, you figured it was going to be Kareem Hunt at one point because they lost Jarvis Landry, so they're going to have to pick up the slack as far as targets and receptions go. Now what we want to do is we want to really take a dive into the Week 3 takeaways. What did we learn from this past week? And we're going to name 10 things that we learned from this past week. This past Sunday, at least. The week isn't over yet. We got Monday Night Football tonight. Number 1, the Lions will ruin playoff hopes. That is takeaway number 1. Okay, they will not be making the NFL playoffs. They're not quite there yet as far as their talent level goes, but against the Packers and the Cardinals and the Broncos, those are 3 games that they have at the end of the season. Those are 3 teams that will probably fight for playoff seeding. The Packers, one of the best teams in the NFL, you'd assume that they would compete with maybe the Arizona Cardinals to get the number 1 seed, to get that number 1 bye. Then you got the Denver Broncos, who are also 3-0, but you'd expect them to fight for a playoff push in the AFC wildcard race. The Lions, those 3 games, they're going to ruin the playoff hopes for those 3 teams. They could surprise people. They've been staying close in a lot of these games, and I think that when it comes down to it, if you're a fan of any one of those 3 teams, the Packers, the Cardinals, and the Broncos, later on in the season, when you're fighting for that playoff spot, the Lions are going to ruin your dreams. Just remember this. Just bookmark this video. Week 3 takeaway, the Lions will ruin playoff hopes. Takeaway number 2, Brian Flores is a good coach. And I say that because the amount of injuries that they've been having on the offensive line, at the quarterback position, just on offense, on defense, Flores has still been able to stay somewhat, keep the game close. In week 1 and week 3 at least. Week 1, he got a 1-point victory over the New England Patriots. Week 3, went into overtime against the up-and-coming Las Vegas Raiders. Week 2, the Buffalo Bills are just incredible. But Brian Flores, with everything thrown his way, was able to coach a solid game. So Brian Flores, takeaway number 2, he is a good coach. Takeaway number 3, sticking on that Raiders and Dolphins game. The Raiders defense is great. Okay, they drafted Trayvon Moehrig to be in the safety in the secondary. Trayvon Mullen has been looking great. Casey Hayward, you probably don't know this, but going into week 3, he had the highest Pro Football Focus grade as far as coverage goes. Casey Hayward did. He got banged up, unfortunately, this past week. But Max Crosby has been playing at a high level as well. So the Raiders defense is actually very, very good. That is takeaway number 3. Takeaway number 4, Javonte Williams is the future of the Denver Broncos. Melvin Gordon, 18 carries this past week. Okay, he's going to continue to get his touches. That's okay, but I'm talking about the future. Maybe it's towards the end of the season. Maybe it's next year if they decide to move on with Melvin Gordon. Javonte Williams is going to be great. If you were listening to that game between the Jets and the Broncos, you noticed that the commentator was saying that Teddy Bridgewater said that Javonte Williams reminds him of Alvin Kamara. Everybody says that. People said that about Aaron Jones, and they kind of, mimic and mirror the play of Alvin Kamara, but Javonte Williams, the future. The next takeaway, the Chiefs, are they in trouble? They are last place and the AFC West. My takeaway on that and my take is don't worry. The Chiefs are okay. It's early on. It was a schedule. They faced the Ravens. They faced the Chargers, who are kind of up and down, but also have the capability of upsetting some teams like they did against the Dallas Cowboys just last week. So for the people that are freaking out about the Kansas City Chiefs, do not freak out. That is the next takeaway. After that, the Steelers are set to miss the playoffs. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if I want to go ahead and call it, but I think right now it's safe to say that the Steelers at least won't be winning the AFC North. So as far as making the playoffs, I don't know. But the AFC North, I think that goes in the hands of either the Baltimore Ravens or the Cleveland Browns. The next takeaway, the Bengals defense, speaking of the AFC North, is not bad. The Bengals defense is actually pretty good. I mean, they face the Bears. They face the Vikings, who are capable of turning the ball over, yes. But, I mean, this defense has been looking pretty good this year. Agree, disagree? I like the Bengals defense this year. But speaking of decent defenses, the next takeaway, Washington's defense has gone from being great to just above average. So they're not one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL now, I would say, just because of the plays that they've been having for the last couple of weeks. Now, they did face the Buffalo Bills high-powered offense, but then the week before that, the New York Giants weren't able to contain them on offense. Hey, I mean, I think the Washington football team defense is still great, but they have taken a step down, and now they are just merely above average. That's what I would say. We've got a couple more takeaways. Patriots offense still a work in progress. We knew this going into the season, and then when Mac Jones took over, we were like, oh, this is a big step up. Look at the way that Mac Jones has been playing. And then we realized, okay, yeah, he's been looking great in preseason just because he's been playing against second team and third team offenses or defenses. And they're still a work in progress. So I think they have the right idea with the 2 tight end sets. I think they have the right idea of, okay, Jacoby Myers, let's just give him a lot of receptions. And Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne could be these deep threats. I get it. Still a work in progress. And it's going to be pretty tough against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. And then the last takeaway, the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I said it. This is everything that the Rams imagined when they traded for Matthew Stafford. They already have the defense. Now they just wanted to bolster the offense, and they felt like the only weak point at that point on offense was unfortunately Jared Goff. Not saying that he was bad, but he just wasn't great. And Matthew Stafford, his whole entire career, has been labeled as a player that has tendencies of being a good quarterback, but never making it to the promised land, never getting past the first round of the playoffs. Well, now you can expect that the Rams are going to get past the first round of the playoffs, maybe even get a first-round bye at this point, because the Rams just topped the defending Super Bowl champs and proved that they are the best team in the NFL. 10 takeaways to take away from this past Sunday from Week 3. You guys are asking, Jeremy Copsey, how long should we expect Dalvin Cook to miss? Okay, so there was some talk within the organization internally that Dalvin Cook was actually going to be good to go this Sunday. And it was just like a late decision that, hey, Dalvin Cook, let's go ahead and rest him. So I think, if I had to use my knowledge in my brain, I'd assume that Dalvin Cook is going to be playing this Sunday, but you know what happens when you assume. So I think they're okay with Madison taking over the reins with the way that he played for the time being. Let's go ahead and should we go ahead and make some money here real quick? Yeah, let's go ahead and make some money. Manscaped. Football season is upon us. It's time to put the PP back in PPR League. With the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, just launched the new Performance Package 4.0. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag. This fourth-generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on and off switch, can engage a travel lock, and is even waterproof. Don't neglect your balls like the Packers have been neglecting Aaron Rodgers this past offseason. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code T2F. This will help you tame that Ezekiel Elliott in your pants. And speaking of Ezekiel Elliott, he's going to be on display here tonight against the Philadelphia Eagles. How much playing time is he going to get? I don't know. After Tony Pollard's performance this past week, we're going to have to see. But that's actually what we wanted to talk about here real quick is we wanted to preview the Monday Night Football game, but we wanted to show you a pretty cool app that we discovered called WinView Games. So pretty much you get to make decisions on props. You just pick yes or no on if something is going to happen during the Monday Night Football game or not. And if you're correct, you get some points and you can actually win some money. You go head-to-head against some people. There's contests. You can play with your friends, your families. You can play with complete strangers if you wanted to. But you can make predictions before the game, but also during the game as well. It's a really cool app. I had a chance to play this a couple weeks ago during the Sunday Night Football game between the Chiefs and the Ravens. And during that, it was very interactive. It's like, do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to get a touchdown on this drive? Yes or no? And you get to put in points. How confident are you? Et cetera, et cetera. But what I want to do with this to preview the Monday Night Football game is I'm going to show you 10 questions that are on the WinView app that you have voted on through Instagram, whether you believe it's going to happen or is it not going to happen. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you those questions here real quick. Let me switch over to here. All right, first question. For the Monday Night Football game between the Eagles and the Cowboys, both teams combined for 21 points in any quarter. 21 or more points. Do you think that's going to happen? A high-scoring game, but in one quarter? Will it happen? 69% of you guys say yes, it is going to happen. While 31% say no, it's not going to happen. This is according to the polls that we took on Instagram. Next question. At least 3 different players record 5 or more receptions. Will that happen or not? Well, taking a look at the polls, yes, outstanding. 90% say yes, it's going to happen. 10% only say no. At least 3 different players are not going to record 5 or more receptions. You got, who do you got? CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith, maybe even. It's a toss-up. Miles Sanders has more carries than Tony Pollard. This is an actual question on WinView. So do you think it's going to happen? Will he get more carries than Tony Pollard? 51% say yes. 49% say no. Miles Sanders is actually losing work to Kenneth Gainwell. Tony Pollard is gaining work from Ezekiel Elliott. So, split down the middle. Is it going to happen? A player records both a rushing touchdown and receiving touchdown. Will that happen or no? Well, taking a look at the polls, 61% say yes, it is going to happen. And 39% say no. Records a rushing touchdown and receiving touchdown. You would assume that could be like a running back. Yeah, so Ezekiel Elliott is a good receiving back. Tony Pollard as well. Miles Sanders. We'll see. Next one. Eagles have more rush yards than Dallas. Guys, this is an actual question on WinView. So why wouldn't you go with a 54% that say yes and say that Dallas... Oh, wait, hold on. People are saying yes, that the Eagles have more rushing yards than Dallas? Okay, well, if you factor in Jalen Hurts, that makes a little bit more sense. So I guess this is actually pretty split down the middle. 54% say yes, it is going to happen because Jalen Hurts has been rushing for, like 50, at least 50 yards a game, 54, 55 yards a game. We'll see. The Cowboys have more passing yards than the Eagles. Will that happen or not? Well, taking a look at the polls, 76% say yes, that the Cowboys are going to have more passing yards. Dak Prescott is one of the top 5 leaders going into week 3 at least in passing yards. Micah Parsons has at least 1 sack. He has been dangerous for the for the Dallas Cowboys and against the Philadelphia Eagles. Could he have 1 full sack? Half a sack does not count, but 68% say yes, it is going to happen, while 32% are saying no, it's not going to happen. Dak Prescott rushes for a touchdown. Okay, you may assume that Dak Prescott is a mobile quarterback, but he's actually not. But 57% say yes, it is going to happen. 43% say no, it's not going to happen. Devontae Smith leads all Eagles in receiving yards. Will that happen or no? 89% say yes. Devontae Smith is going to have a big game and lead the likes of Quez Watkins and Dallas Goedert in receiving yards. 11% say no, it's not going to happen. We have faith in Watkins getting that one target for 90-something yards. And finally, the last question. Jalen Hurts has 2 or more passing touchdowns. Will this happen or no? 84% say yes, it will happen, while 16% are saying no, it is not going to happen. So those are 10 questions that are available on the WinView app. To kind of show you guys the WinView app, I got my phone right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this up on the screen, put myself up in the corner, and show you guys that I have entered the contest, and I could go ahead and choose, hey, what do I think is going to happen based off the questions that you guys have answered. So, for instance, if we say, let's choose one that says Jalen Hurts records 2 or more passing touchdowns in a game. And you can just go ahead and click on whether you want to vote for that, yes or no, put in amount of points or whatever it may be. And if you're right, and you go head to head against someone and you get that question right, then you get points and you can actually win some money in some of these contests. So winview.tv/T2F. That link is in the description. Click on it, sign up, start playing. $20 deposit match. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. If you don't get these pregame questions, like I said, you can play during the actual game. So you want to sign up before the game, and then you can participate throughout the duration of that game. It's amazing stuff. Technology, man. But make sure your Wi-Fi is up to date, because if you're playing live and something happens and you're behind, you miss out. All right. What do we have here? We have viewer questions now. Let's go ahead and get to that segment because we're got only a few more minutes left. How did everybody's fantasy football week go, by the way? I'm very curious to know. I know there was kind of an up and down week as far as a lot of players. People that had A.J. Brown, I know that you guys were kind of disappointed in that. People that drafted Cooper Kupp and Mike Williams pretty late as well. You guys have been watching Time2Football. You knew that those are some 2 very good receivers that we were high on. So this past weekend, I went to a Skillet concert, and I saw Adelita's Way as well, opening up for them. So for you guys that are fans of hard rock, by the way, beautiful, 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10 concert. Best concert I've ever been to. I've seen Korn, I've seen Stained, but that Skillet performance, me and my hot brunette wife had a fantastic time at that concert. Actually, I knew that I married the right woman because I told her this as well, and she's probably watching right now. But we looked into each other's eyes during the song Monster. And you know the song that Skillet plays, Monster, when he's like, feel like a monster. We looked in each other's eyes and said that in a screaming voice. And I was like, I married the right woman. This is great. But anyways, during that concert, though, I had a trade offer. I talked about this for the last week. Should I trade away James Robinson for Mark Andrews and Myles Gaskin? My tight end was Jonnu Smith. So I was like, man, I need a tight end. And I was like, man, James Robinson could be an RB1 potentially. He's better than Myles Gaskin, who's in a committee. I don't know if I want to sacrifice. I debated it for like a whole week. And then I was like, during the concert, I was like, forget it. I'm doing it. And then I went ahead and accepted the trade. And I felt great because everybody in my league was like, wow, Hassan, you made a blockbuster trade while you were at a concert. This is a whole nother level. What can I say, man? What can I say? I'm proud of it. Mark Andrews, top 5 tight end, delivered big. Let's get to you guys and your questions as well. Let's see who's been leaving these questions. What else we got? What do we got? Miguel, you asked, what do you think of Tyson Williams? Should I drop him or stay with him? I'd keep him, man. I don't know what happened. I had him as a start, but Lamar Jackson is RB1, unfortunately. But I will say out of all the running backs that are on that team, even though he didn't lead the running backs in carries and touches, he is the most fresh, and he's the best player at the running back position on that team. So I'd keep Tyson Williams. If you want to go ahead and buy low on him, I'd buy low. I really would. What else do we've got here? Oh, you also asked about Trey Sermon. I would trade away Trey Sermon, honestly. That touchdown was huge in the trade value of Trey Sermon. So sell Trey Sermon. He's not going to be Jeff Wilson. When Jeff Wilson comes back healthy, and that could be a while. It's going to be end of October, early November maybe that he comes back. But Jeff Wilson is going to be the RB1 in San Francisco. So sell Trey Sermon whenever you can. Jeremy, you were asking more questions. My next question, and someone had asked if it already, but wasn't addressed. So what to do with Tyson Williams? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's exactly what you need to do is hold on to him. Buy low if you can. And when I say buy low, like don't give up too much. Okay, you don't want to trade away, I don't know, some wide receiver 2. You don't want to trade away Jamar Chase for Tyson Williams. Don't do that. Don't do that. But if you want to trade someone like, hey, maybe even Brandon Ayuk for Tyson Williams, I think that's kind of a fair trade after the game that Ayuk had. Yeah, I would do it. I would do it. Lance Harvey, that's dope. Skillet at the show trade. Yes, sir. Skillet is amazing. Deej, Jonathan Taylor a keeper, or does he hold enough value for a trade and let someone else struggle with him? He is splitting a lot of time with Nyheim Hines. He really is. And he dropped on my draft board because of the injuries to Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson. And I factored in Nyheim a little bit, but I didn't expect him to be like to this point. I had Jonathan Taylor as, I think, my RB10 on my rankings. And now he's playing like he's an RB20 at best. So he's great. He's talented. The volume just, it's kind of concerning, honestly. If you can sell him, sure. But like sell him for, don't really sell low for, trade away Jonathan Taylor for something really, really cheap. Like actually buy in like, hey, this is an RB1. I know that he's being, splitting time with Nyheim Hines. I know his value is super low right now, and I know what you're doing that you want to buy him low. But just know, I'm not stupid. I know that Jonathan Taylor is talented. I know that he could be an RB1 potentially one day. So I'm going to go ahead and trade him for you, but you're going to have to pay up. You're going to have to pay up. So that's how I would treat Jonathan Taylor. Let's see. You guys are commenting how you guys did. I won 3 out of 5 leagues. Daniel Orton. Hey, congrats, dude. Congrats. You're in 5 leagues? I can't keep up with that, dude. I'm in 2 leagues. I'm in my main league and in my fan league. And in my fan league, I haven't been paying attention too much in that. It's just set my lineup like Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, before the Thursday night game, and I don't even look at it. But my main league, I kind of look at like every day. So it's kind of fitting because in my main league, depending on how Jalen Hurts and CeeDee Lamb, I'm projected to go 3-0 in my main league. And then my fan league, I think I'm going to go 1-2. So I can't keep up with that many. So kudos to you guys that can. But I got to put all my attention towards one because whenever there's money involved, I'm putting attention to that. If there's not any money involved, I'm like, yeah, I'll play, but I'm not going to really put too much emotion into it. What else do we've got? Let's go ahead and answer a couple more if you guys are. I'll acknowledge some comments. Sarcatist. Is that how you say your name, by the way? Sarcatist? I don't know. Horrible points week for both of my teams. AJ Brown killed me in this one, CMC in the other. Yeah, dude. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. Chuba Hubbard, definitely. RB1. I would snag that guy if you can. Because the Panthers are saying CMC's only going to be out for a couple of weeks. Nah. People always place these RBs on temporary injured reserve to miss 3 weeks, like Le'Veon Bell last year. And there's a handful of running backs that they've done that with. but it's always okay. They come back, they're limited in practice, and they may play, but they may miss another week. So I say 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks is CMC's timetable. That's just me. So Chuba Hubbard is a guy that you'd want to target. Sark Artist. Gosh, I'm so stupid, dude. How could I not see that? Sark Artist. Okay, I got it. I remember that moving forward. Let's see. We're about to wrap up here, but do we have any more comments or questions? Deej, you said 66 yards is not that far. What I learned in week 3. Yeah, kickers these days, they can, during pregame, they will nail it from like 70 yards. They will. Justin Tucker, one of the best in NFL history. But to get to 66 yards and be that accurate, and I'm talking about accuracy as far as, yeah, accuracy, not power. Because power, it hit the crossbar and bounced in. But to be that accurate for 66 yards, there's only a handful of people in the NFL that could do that. I would say Justin Tucker. I know I'm big on this guy, but Evan McPherson could do that because McPherson, whenever he kicks the ball and he makes a field goal, it could be like an extra point. It will always be down the middle, an extra point. The only guy I've ever seen that is Justin Tucker, like repeatedly hit an extra point, like straight down the middle. So McPherson is the next Justin Tucker. Brad Johnson saying, what up, Hassan? How you doing, man? You used to play for the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day. I remember you. Good quarterback. Actually led the Bucs to the Super Bowl. And now John Gruden, your former head coach, is hoping to get back to the Super Bowl with the Raiders. I'm going to go ahead and, Miguel, you asked, what about Julio Jones? Should I trade him, and for how? Let's monitor A.J. Brown. Let's see how much time is he actually going to miss, if he's going to miss some time. Let's wait on that. And then if he is going to miss some time, then you'd want to hold Julio Jones. If not, then yeah, let's trade him, and let's just wait on that question. We'll get back to that question later on. But that's going to go ahead and end this episode of Time2Football. Listen, we're very appreciative that you guys are joining us for this episode every single week, or every single day, actually. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the time that we come out with these shows. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date when we come out with the show every single day. Continue to ask your questions, and continue to follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We got rid of Facebook. Screw Facebook. Full of old people anyways. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.